The images on your screen are of construction materials meant to build former President Donald Trump's border wall that have sat untouched for years, ever since President Biden came into office. According to Republicans, $300 million worth of taxpayer-funded wall components thrown to the wayside until now. Just as Congress began to move on a bill that would have used the materials to continue border wall construction, the Biden administration has been auctioning off the pieces for pennies on the dollar, according to the New York Post. Since you're watching SAN right now, you'll get to hear the details behind the Biden administration's decision to sell off unused border wall materials. But as you can see by this graphic, the story isn't getting a lot of attention from other media outlets. Your mainstream channels like CNN, ABC, and NBC are not talking about the controversial auctions. The media outlets that are reporting it are largely right-leaning news organizations. We call this a media miss when there's not a fair balance of coverage to a story. Not only is the coverage of this story unbalanced, but so are the headlines. This headline from left-leaning outlet Raw Story states, "Conservatives lose it as Biden admin sells off Trump's border wall materials." It's not only left-leaning outlets with a focus on Republican outrage over the auction itself. This headline from Newsweek, which is an outlet rated to be in the center, says Republicans furious as Biden sells unused Trump border wall for millions. While Republicans are largely upset over the cheap auctioning off of border materials, the Senate, with a Democratic majority, passed a bill with bipartisan support to put those construction materials to use. Instead, the White House is getting rid of it one pallet of materials at a time, cashing in on what they can, even if a fraction of the original material cost. The bill, called the Finish It Act, would make the federal government use the materials on new wall construction or hand it over to border states for their use. But before the House has been able to pass their version of the bill, the White House is selling off the pieces. According to a Department of Defense spokesperson, more than half the materials have already been auctioned off, and more auctions are planned to happen later this week. Meanwhile, border crossings are back up. Illegal crossings jumped by more than 30% month over month. Legal processing of migrants hit a record high last month. The U.S. allowed in more than 50,000 migrants at ports of entry in July.
At Straight Arrow News, we help you cut through the noise and break free from the mainstream. How do we do that? By utilizing our Media Miss tool, we'll show you what the liberal and conservative outlets aren't reporting. To check it out, head to straightarrownews.com.